सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। एको विभाति स्वतः शुद्धचेताः प्रकाशस्वरूपोऽपि नानेव धीषु शरावोदकस्थो यथा भानुरेकः स नित्योपलब्धिस्वरूपोऽहमात्मा। So this is the verse we saw last. So the connection is like this. We said that this Atma cannot be objectified by the senses and the mind. In fact, it cannot be even the meaning of any one word, correct? So there is explicitly the Upanishad says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasah, means from where the words return back along with the mind without being able to grasp it or get it, means it's not able to objectify. So if that is the case, then how can anybody know this Atma? Is there anything like that? Because whatever we know as existing, we know all of that only through our sense organs and whatever mind, correct? So if you say that this is something which is not even accessible to your mind and words and sense organs, then I will say it is Shunya. There is nothing like that there. There is no Atma. So how do we know it is there? In a fundamental manner we ask, are you there or not? So you have to say, I am there. And how did you say I am there? Did you objectify yourself and say I am there? No. You have to say, even to objectify something, I have to be there, correct? Even to use the mind, I have to be there. Even to use the sense organs, I have to be there. Only to me, whatever thoughts which are happening in the mind are becoming evident. Only to me, it is evident that whether an indriya is working or not, whether my eyes are seeing or not also is only known to me. So that is what we are talking about here. In fact, that part is very clear to all of you who are wearing glasses, correct? So you only have to say, whoever may be the specialist, ophthalmologist or whatever, optometrist, they can only change the lens in the machine. You only have to say whether you are able to see properly or not. So this also we can use this analogy for understanding the means of knowledge also, correct? The means of knowledge is validated only when you use it. You cannot prove that something is a valid means of knowledge prior to actually using it. You have to use it and see whether it works. So the proof of a means of knowledge is only in using it. Unless you use your eyes and see, you won't even know whether your eyes can see or not. But even after your eyes are revealing something, you can still not prove that, because it is whatever it is revealing is unique, correct? Each and every cognition is something unique, and it can be only revealed through that particular means of knowledge. So again, it is futile to ask for any proof and all that. That's why we define the very knowledge itself as something which cannot be negated, not that which can be proved. So this is the aspect which is called, in fact it's a very big concept. In the tradition we call it Swatah Pramanyam. Means all knowledge is self-valid. Swatah Pramanyam means what? Swatah. It doesn't require anything else to validate. So if anybody asks for some validation and proof and all that, they don't even understand how cognition takes place. What is valid knowledge only, they don't have any understanding. In fact, to make them understand also is not very easy. Okay. So anyway, coming back here. So the Atma is something, it is yourself, correct? And self is self-revealing and self-existing, self-luminous entity. So So really you don't require anything. But even then, what the Acharya is saying here, this self, you will know once your mind is pure. Because the same Upanishad which says, Yato vacho nivartante, also says, Manasa eva anudrashtavyam. Only with your mind, you can see this. You have to see, Anu also is there. It's not that you see yourself, you are seeing after somebody, means what, your Guru. You have to see along with your Guru, because Guru only has to show you. Guru is the mirror for the self. And again, Guru also is a mirror because Guru is showing you the word mirror. It is a Shastra Darpana or Shabda Darpana. So there only one can see this, and for that you should already be ready. Your mind should be pure. Chitta Ekagrata also is important. Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. So these two things we talked about. So now that is what is said here, like even this, there is only one Ravi or one Surya, and it reflects in all the whatever, different upadhis, different body, mind, sense complex. The same Chaitanya is manifest in different naneva dhishu. So it is the Prakasha Swarupaha, but it is bright. It is lighting up in different, in the different intellects. Like even one sun is reflected in many places. Okay. Now, next continuation to the next is how. There is one more question. How can this Atma light up all the buddhis at the same time? That is not possible. In the Vyavahara, we don't see anything like that. You can only do one by one. How can it light up? One Atma light up everything at the same time. So there are many Atmas. Okay? Like that there can be an argument. One Atma cannot really light up everything. Means again we have to go back to Surya only. So that's what, let us see the next verse. Yatane kachakshuf prakasho ravirna Kramena prakashi karoti prakashyam Aneka dhiyo yastataika prabodhaha Sanityo balabdhi swarupo hamatma. So if you say that one Atma cannot light up everything, again we go back to the analogy of the sun alone. Yatha aneka chakshuf prakashaha ravihi. So the sunlight only is making all the eyes see. It is lighting up everything, because of which your eyes are able to see. Here it doesn't do one by one or anything like that, correct? It doesn't light up each and every object separately. In fact, it doesn't even light up really, in the sense like an activity. Its Swarupa is to be bright, that's all. It is always bright. We only actually impute even this some kind of a kartritvam and say sun is lighting up. If you ask the sun will say I am not lighting up anything. I am as I am, that's all. It's only its own Swarupa, it is Sannidhi Matra, we have to say. That's why it is, by its very presence, everything is lighted up. It's not really even lighting up like a karma. It's not a karma, means if you say it is a karma, another problem will come. Why? Because when does it start, when does it end, and all will come. That's why the sun analogy is very good or very important, because there we can also see how by the mere presence only all other things are active. That is the same analogy we use with reference to Atma and Anatma also. So here, Aneka Chakshuf Prakashaha Ravihi Yatha Na Kramena Prakashi Karoti. It doesn't do one by one. There is no serially it is not doing. It is doing Yugapad, means it is doing simultaneously at the same time. Similarly, Atma also what? Aneka Dhiyaha Yaha Tata Eka Prabodhaha. So there is only one Chaitanya, and it goes and then thus Prakasha for all the intellects. It is lighting up. There is only one. So again, the same thing is used in the Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter. So there also you can see Yata Prakashayat Ekaha Kritsnam Lokamimam Ravihi Kshetram Kshetri Tata Kritsnam Prakashayati Bharata. Like that there is a verse. So Yata Prakashayati, like even how it is lighting up. Kritsnam Lokamimam Ravihi. Bhagavan says the entire Loka, our solar system at least, is lighted up by the sun, like only one sun. Like that in all the kshetras. He already said Kshetrakyam Sarva Kshetresu Aham Kshetrakyaha. Like that Bhagavan already said. But same thing he is reinforcing here with this analogy, saying in all the kshetras there is only one Kshetrakyaha. The Kshetrakyaha means the one who knows. The knower is the same. Nanyad atosti drashta. Like that also it is said in the Brihadaranyaka. Other than this Atma, there is no other seer. That is the only seer. In each and every buddhi also, this is the only Atma. Atma alone is there, which is the seer, which is the hearer, which is the whatever. Each and every sense organ, whatever you are cognizing, it is the only cognizer. So the same idea here. Aneka dhiyaha yaha tatha eka prabodha. Means only one prabodha is there, one consciousness is there, and that alone is lighting up everything. And that is again, that is me, Nitya. Again, talking about all these things, don't think it is something else. It is Sa Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupaha. So that eternal, non-changing, invariable, conscious being is myself. That awareness is myself. Aham, Atma. Okay, so now the connection with the next verse is interesting. Okay, so now you have said Ravi is the one which is lighting up everything. Then why can't we say Savita Devata is the one who does all these things? Why do you even require Atma? In fact, even in the daily Sandhyavandanam we do. What is the mantra? Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Your Gayatri mantra itself is saying only that Ravi is lighting up even my Dhi, correct? So what are you talking about some other Atma? It is the Savita Devata who is actually doing this, correct? You can say that. Savita is the Paramatma, it is not some other Atma. So only Savita Devata is the one. Means, so now that also has to be answered. So that is what is answered now. You will see. Vivasvat prabhatam yatarupamaksham Pragrinhati nabhatamevam vivasvan Yatabhata abhasayatyakshmekaha Sanityo baladhi swarupo hamatma. So Vivasvat Prabhatam Yatha Rupam Aksham. See all the rupas, forms, colors, etc. You are able to see with your eyes because it is lighted up by, it is Vivasvat Prabhatam, means Vivasvata Prabhatam. That which is lighted up by the sun, the Surya Devata alone you are able to see. Okay, whatever is lighted up. But na abhatam evam pragrinnati vivasvan. So, but that which is not lighted up, that which is in darkness, you are not able to see. Okay, whatever is lighted up, you are able to see. Na abhatam evam na pragrinnati, you have to say. So, from this what do you know? That even the sun also is able to light up some, is not able to light up some other thing. That is one point is there. That means it cannot, even though we say that when the sun is visible, it is lighting up everything. But what if the sun is not there? Sun can also become invisible, or it is covered by something. Then, or there is an eclipse, let us say, then it is not able to light up. That is fine. But here, one more important point we have to consider in our world view is that sun is not just whatever the helium, hydrogen becoming helium and all they say, correct? In fact, in our imagination, even when we draw as though sun is a flame, correct? Actually, there is no flame in the sun. Understand that scientifically also. It is basically a nuclear fusion reaction happening, but there is no oxygen or anything. There is no real fire burning kind of a thing is not there in the sun. If you actually see the sun, it will be some blue color or something, some other color. Basically, there is no burning flame like this in the sun because there is no oxygen. It is purely a fusion reaction which is happening, and hydrogen fuses and becomes helium. And that is how the whatever the radiation then is there. But it's, of course, it is bright and all that, but there is no real flame or fire in the sun. Anyway, that is an aside point. But what I am saying is, but we don't consider that only as some physical entity. That is what I want to point out. Even when we say the Savita Devata, that Savita Devata is the one who has the Abhimana. The sun as the body, the one who has the Abhimana of sun as the body, that is the Savita Devata for us. The Devata is the one, like I have Abhimana with reference to this Dehatma, correct? Whatever body, mind, sense complex here, I have Abhimana or I identify with this. Similarly, whichever being identifies with the sun itself as the body, that being is called Savita Devata for us. Is that clear? That is the Adhisthana Devata. But even there, the same Veda which is talking about the Adhisthana Devata for different phenomenon and all that, which we already discussed, also says, what does it say? There is an Antaryami Brahmanam in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad again. Okay. So in that, in fact, not only sun, all the different Devatas are listed, starting from Prithvi, Vayu, up like that, then Chandra, Surya. For all of them it says what the one who is within this Devata, the one who knows this Devata, but the Devata cannot know the one, because the Devata cannot objectify the Atma. So the one who is the Atma of that Devata is this Antaryami, which is Brahman. Like that, in the Antaryami Brahmanam, even the Savita Devata has an Antaryami. And that same Antaryami is there in you also. In fact, the daily Gayatri Mantra for a Vedantin is actually Nididhyasanam, because it is also a Mahavakya. Understand that? I already told you, there is not just only 4 Mahavakyas or anything. So even if you take the Gayatri Mantra, we say Tat Savituhu Varenyam. Means that Savita Devata, Varenyam means one who is worthy of worship. Means he is, you can take it as the one who is the Karana for all the Vyavahara here. So he is worshipful. And Bhargaha also. And he is Deva. So all these attributes are given. One who is illuminating everything bright, etc. That Devata I meditate on, Dhimahi, may we meditate on. In fact, it is also in plural. Okay, you can take that Gayatri Mantra as a prayer, or you can take it as a statement of fact. If you take it as a statement of fact, it is for a Vedantin, it is Nididhyasanam, it is Mahavakya Vichara. Or if you take it as a prayer, also it is very interesting. The prayer is not only in singular, the prayer is in plural. So that's why we say that Brahmana means they have to follow the dharma not only for themselves, for the society at large. So that's why even your daily Sandhyavandanam is not just a prayer for yourself. If you take it as a prayer, it is actually a collective prayer, because Diyo yo naha prachodayatuli is the prayer. May you illuminate our minds, not just your mind. Mama, Diyo, in fact, Diyaha also you cannot say that. Mama Di you have to say, correct? Diyaha itself is plural. Naha Diyaha is our intellects. May you or may you impel. So if you take it as a prayer, what do we say? The meaning is that may you make us make the right choices in our lives, because life is nothing but choosing. Your entire life is only choice, correct? You have to make choice. But even here, if you are a dharmika, there is no real choice between right and wrong. Understand that? Some people then will say, make us choose the right thing. Right thing, you know already what is right wrong. So don't say that. For a dharmika, there is no, even there you can have a prayer still saying that may I overcome my likes and dislikes and choose the right. But if you are already a dharmika, you don't have any choice between right and wrong. But again, you can still have choice with reference to many right things also. I mean, you don't know which is the right thing for you. That also is a problem for human being, because our knowledge is limited. We don't know anything in complete, correct? We don't know the entire picture. We don't know. So we are still making choices somewhat. With prayerfully only we can make choice, correct? We don't have all the knowledge, or we don't understand all the forces which are in action. So if you take it as a prayer, then the prayer is what you impel me to make the right choices. May you be the one who impels my mind, my intellect, so that I make the right choices. But even there, it is in plural. May you impel all of us to make the right choices in life. So that is the prayer. But if you look at it differently, the one who is illuminating the sun is the one who is sun's upati is the one who is also illuminating my or our minds. That way, if you look at it, it is a Mahavakya, because it is the same Brahman which is the Antaryami of the Savita Devata also, who is Varenyam and all that. But the same is the Antaryami in my mind also. In fact, in that sense only, here actually our Hastaamalakeeyam has written in that manner only. Okay, so he says the sun may be illuminating sometime, may not illuminate sometimes, so you may see, you may not see. But the one who makes the sun to function as sun, correct? That's the next line he is saying. Yada abhata abhasayati akshamekaha. So, when the sun itself is made to function as sun, then only the sun is able to make your eyes see something by lighting up something. So, who is making the sun to function as sun? That Atma is myself again. San Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. I am the one who is actually even lighting up the sun. My Chaitanyam is the one which is the Atma for the Aditya Devata also. And therefore, because of that only Aditya Devata is able to then light up the entire world, and so many eyes are able to see everything. And that Atma is not separate from me. I am the same Atma. And that meaning comes in the regular Gayatri mantra also. Every day when you do Sandhya Vandanam, that's why even if you are a Vedantin, then Sandhya Vandana is basically a Nididhyasanam only. You have to then take it as Nididhyasanam. Otherwise it is a prayer. And even for children, that is why it is very important. Every day if you do Gayatri means, then you will be making the right choices in your life. Otherwise if you don't do even that Nitya Karma, you are only going to do, like if you don't do dharma, natural tendency is to do something else, and that something else will be adharma. That is why it is very important. So here, the one yada abhataha abhasayati means what? Only when the sun itself is lighted up, means in the presence of the Atma alone, sun is functioning as sun. The same thing is there in other places, correct? That Bhisha Smat Vataf Pavate and all I already told you. Even in the Taittiriya Upanishad, only due to the fear of this Brahman, all the Devatas are functioning as they are functioning. And also, in the Taittiriya also it is there. You cannot say that Aditya is somebody separate and that Aditya only is lighting up everything. Why? Yascha savaditye sayekaha sayevam vid, like that. Even in the Taittiriya later on, sayaschayam purushe yascha savaditye sayekaha. So sayascha, whoever is there in this Purusha, that same Atma is there in the Aditya also, Aditya Devata also. They are not two different things. Sayascha ayam Purusha. Ayam Purusha yascha asau Aditya. The one who is there in the Aditya as Atma is the same Purusha who is there here in this body, mind, sense complex also. Sayekaha. That is only one. That is one Brahman we are talking about. So it is all one alone. And even in our daily Sandhyavanam also, what do we do? There is Abheda Dhyanam is there, correct? What is that? Do you remember? Asau Adityaha Brahma Brahmaiva Ahamasmi, like that. Okay, you can add some more thing. The bare minimum is Asau Adityaha Brahma Brahmaiva Ahamasmi. That much has to be there. So that is again Mahavakya. Asau Aditya. Aditya also is Brahma. Brahmaiva aham asmi. I am also the same Brahman. So that is there everywhere in our Shastra, in our day-to-day life it is there. If you are doing Sandhya Vandanam, it is there.
In the Arunam, this is very detailed explained.
Correct. That will be, Aruna Prashna is about Aditya only, correct?
But there again it is said, it is Paramartha Swarupa.
Correct. So you cannot take Aditya something separate and say that Aditya only lights up, Atma does not. In fact, the Aditya itself is lighted up by this Atma alone. That is what is said here. So that has been made very clear. Okay, continuing what? Okay, so what is the connection next? Okay, again the same thing is there in the sense that if there is only one Atma, then all that Atma will be now liable for everything, correct? Atma will be affected by whatever is happening in each and every dhi, like that. There can be a problem. So we are now seeing the next verses answering some of that again, the same thing. In fact, this taking the sun and the reflection only, this almost the entire Hastaamalakeeyam is using that analogy in different ways, again and again. Okay, the next verse is what? Yatha surya eko svanekaschalasu sthira swapyananvag vibhavya swarupaha chalasu prabhinnasu dishvevamekaha sanityo palabdhis swarupohamatma. So the Antaryami is there everywhere, but the Antaryami is not tainted by anything, cannot be tainted, cannot be become a samsari, because it is only due to, it is not actively doing anything, really speaking. By its presence alone, everything is happening. So that is the important thing. So here again the Surya only is taken as the analogy. Yatha Suryaha ekaha apsu anekas chalasu stirasu. So the one Surya is getting reflected in many waters, different types of water. But again there what, in some water it looks as though it is moving. Why? Because the water itself is moving. Somewhere else the water is still. In that it is reflecting differently where it doesn't move. So that means what? Only one Surya is there, but it is getting reflected in multiple reflecting media, and in some media it appears as though it is moving. In some sthira means it is stationary, it doesn't move anywhere. So, but in all this, what is the truth? Ananvak vibhavya swarupaha. This ananva gataha, I said even another word which comes in the Upanishad. Same word here Acharya has used. Ananvak also is the same thing. So anugachati, anuvak, if you take, means you take something along with you, correct? Means you are connected, or you are actually getting something by being connected to something. But ananvak means what? You are not really taking along, you are not taking anything from the other thing, whatever you think it is connected and all that, but in reality I am not really connected. So the idea of why this ananvak vibhavya swarupaha means, vibhavya again means the one who is separate, distinguished. The sun itself, the bimba, is distinguishable separately from all the reflections, correct? And whatever may happen to the reflection, nothing happens to the bimba. The sun is as it is. It is ananvak vibhavya swarupaha means it is unconnected, and whatever may happen to all the reflections, none of that is going to go to the sun. The sun does not take or obtain anything from whatever is happening to the reflections. The reflections can be as the sun it is, or it can be moving, it can be distorted, all that is fine. But none of those things, whatever may happen to the reflections, it does not go to the sun. The sun does not take anything. That is the ananvak part. Ananvak means basically it is not taking up anything, or nothing goes to it. It does not carry anything from all the reflections. It is as it is. It is vibhavya swarupa means it is separate from all these things. Its swarupa is untainted by whatever may be happening to all the reflections. So again, the same thing is now. This is with reference to the sun. Now for the Atma. Chalasu prabhinnasu means the mind alone is moving all the time. In fact, the nature of the mind, I have told you, is to move from one to another to another to another. That is the very nature of mind. In fact, that then only mind will be proper also. The mind is not able to go from one to another, you can't have any vyavahara. No transaction can happen in the world. So mind is highly associative, and it keeps associating something or the other, and then it keeps moving. Of course, whenever required, you should be able to focus also. And other times it can go anywhere. That is the mind's creativity also is somewhat related to how it is able to think or imagine different things. So here the mind is the one which is moving, chalasu, and also it is many, correct? Prabhinnasu, many different things. So in the moving and in the many different things, different dhishu, that is, okay? So chalasu dhishu, prabhinnasu dhishu. So the mind or the intellect which are moving all the time and which are many, in that evam ekaha, in this manner, like how the sun is one and is getting reflected in many reflecting medium, and it is not getting affected by whatever is happening to the reflections. Similarly, there is only one Atma which is getting reflected in all the minds, all the intellects, and whatever may happen there, because of how it is getting reflected in the mind, the Chidabhasa may be having something, may be different, but the Chit is one and the same. It is unaffected, untainted, it is pure. So that is what, and that Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupaha Aham Atma. So I am the one who is shining in all the minds, different minds, moving minds, but I am unmoved. I don't move anywhere. In fact, I cannot move anywhere also. Because Ananta Swarupaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha. So we say, even the Achamanam also is Vedanta. There also, how do you purify yourself means, in fact, when you say Achyutaha, you cannot decline in any manner, correct? There cannot be any Chuti for you. There is no decay or decline or anything for this Atma. That is your Swarupa. By recollecting that only you purify yourself. The Achamanam itself is supposed to be a purification, correct? Before we do anything, we do Achamanam. In fact, you are supposed to do lot of Achamanam during the day, according to Dharma Shastra. I don't think many of us are not doing it so many. In fact, even if you go out and come back into the home, you have to do Achamanam. If you go to toilet and come, you have to do Achamanam. Like that, or if you touch something impure, you have to do Achamanam. So like this, so many, in a day only you should do it then so many times, I think. Maybe 50 times, 100 times you may have to do. You actually follow the Dharma Shastra. But we do it at least before puja, before your Sandhya, or in between also different steps are there, correct? Because you sip water, again it is considered to be impure, you have to do Achamanam before you do the next step within the Sandhya also, let us say. But all that purification also, what is used there is all only Vedanta. Because the Atma by itself can never be ever impure. It can never be tainted or it can never become impure only. That is the purity of Atma we are talking about. And that only you have to recollect again. Achyutaha, Anantaha, Govinda and all these things again can have Vedantic meaning. Or you can simply take it as the Bhagavan Nama. Bhagavan Nama is purifying me also is a valid bhava. Or if you are a Vedantin, that's what I am saying. In fact, Swami Paramarthananda has talked, 10 talks are there on the Sandhya. I don't know whether any of you have listened to that. You can go and listen. Whoever is doing Sandhya, you can listen to that, or there is even some transcription available on the web, I think. Somebody has transcribed all those talks and it is available as a PDF. Go and read it. So there Swamiji would have given beautifully each and every step in the Sandhya Vandanam, both the whatever there's a Laukika Artha is there, or a normal for the Laukika people there is one Artha. But the same thing for a Mumukshu, Vedantin, you can take it in a different meaning. In fact, all our religious forms are like that. They don't have just one meaning. They can have multiple layers of meanings you can read in them. As you progress and as you become more mature, it becomes meaningful to you in a different way. Initially it is meaningful in one way, but later on you discover that there are so many other things which you can understand from the same thing. Even like Namaste, you can take as a social greeting, correct? Even socially I can greet Namaste. In fact, if I go to US now, I do always Namaste. Why? Because after Corona, even that has become popular in US. I don't have to shake your hands and then exchange germs and virus and bacteria and all that, correct? I don't have to touch you, you don't have to touch me. Namaste, very good. All the people understand now. Even if I go to US, they don't get offended if I don't shake hand. I can do very well. Namaste. So it is socially, it is meaningful that it is a greeting. But then we also have so much more, correct? We say that Namaste really means I am doing Namaskara to you. It's a salutation. So why should I do Namaskara to any stranger, anybody? Means unless I have a certain understanding about the reality of all the beings in the world, I cannot do Namaskara to everybody, correct? And what is that understanding? That means the same Bhagavan is there in all, everybody. That also you can, that is one meaning. That religiously seeing for us, everybody in them, the Antaryami, like we just now discussed, correct? The Antaryami is the same in all. So I can do Namaskara. But then even one more step you can go further. That is the Vedantins understanding. What is that? See, even Namaste, the act is that you bring two hands together. No, apparently this is different, this is different. But when you bring it and make it one, what is the significance? Even though they are two, they belong to the same body. It is only one, correct? The same Atma which is there here is the same Atma which is there here. And it is only one Atma which is pervading your entire body. Like that, for a Vedantin, even the Sarvatma Bhava also is signified by the Namaste itself. Like, even though we all look different, we are all really only one. The difference is only in the Upadhi. But the same Atma is lighting up your mind, your body, and my mind, my body, everything. So that is the vision. So the same vision is meaningful. Because of this vision only, we can actually derive meaning at multiple levels, and everywhere it is meaningful. At some level, it is meaningful depending on your own level of understanding. So anyway, coming here, whether it is all moving and it is all different, but it is only one Atma, and that is myself. But still what? But why everybody does not know this? Or why even I did not know it, or I am not able to appreciate means, then again what we can say is only due to avidya, ignorance. So next verse is that. Dhanachanna drishtir dhanachanna markam yatha nishprabham manyate chati mutaha तथा बद्धवद् भाति यो मूढदृष्टेः स नित्योपलब्धिः स्वरूपोऽहमात्मा. Dhanachanna drishtihi means one who is very ignorant. Ghana and Dhanachanna means one who is densely covered, means here one who is densely covered in ignorance. Dhanachannam arkam. Arka is Surya again. So again the sun itself can be covered by some dense clouds, correct? So when the sun is covered by dense clouds, then the one who is very ignorant may even conclude that the sun is no more shining. Okay. Sun has become Nishprabha, means it does not have any more brightness. It has lost its brightness. Like that, some people can conclude. But basically, even the cloud which is covering the sun, we are able to see only because of the sun. That's what we have to understand. And the sun itself can never lose its brightness or anything. It is always bright as it is. But those who are not aware of it due to their own ignorance may take it that the sun's brightness has been now reduced. We can say that, in fact, in the language that is there, correct? The sun is not shining anymore, or the sunshine has come down, the temperature has come down, like that. So many different things we do say. So based on all that, some people can really think that the sun is no more shining as it used to be shining, etc. So that is only ati mudaha. Ati mudaha means those who are not just normal ignorance but even more. Ati mudaha manyate. They think that sun has become like they think. Yatha nishprabham iti manyate. Tatha. Similarly what? Baddhavad bhati. The same Atma which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is Brahma, looks as though it is bound. To whom? Yaha Mudha Drishte, the one who is the Mudha, who is deluded by this ignorance, by this avidya, ajnanam. So for that person, the Atma, because he takes the Atma as body, mind, sense complex, obviously he is bound, he is lacking, he is wanting. So that's how, but even that Atma which is looking like Baddha also is me only. For the Jnani it is nothing different, correct? Sanityopalabdhi Swarupa, you have to still connect. Yaha, for the same Atma, for the Muda is appearing as Baddha. That Atma is me only, who is Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupa. So this Atma is not different, it's not any different, it's the same Atma, but for some people, because of their own ignorance, it appears as though it is bound. As though is very important, correct? Baddha Badd. It's not really bound, but it appears as though it is bound. But that is only due to Ajnanam. Ajnanam is the only thing we can say. What else can we say? Okay, ignorance is the root cause of all these things. So that's why one seeks knowledge. And this Atma, for the Jnani, what is the Atma Drishti? correct? For a jnani, sarvatma drishti is, correct? So everywhere my Atma alone is shining. And in fact, I am the Atma in all the beings, and all the beings are in me, like that. It is there even in the Ishavasya Upanishad, it is there in the Gita also. Or the Jnana Drishti, how does even in the Gita Bhagavan talk about a Jnani? When he talks about a Jnani, what is the Jnana Drishti? What is the Drishti of the Jnani? How does the Jnani see the world means? So, Yata Prakashayat Ekaha Krishnam Lokam Imam Ravihi, I said, that is one thing in the 13th chapter. Now, this about the Jnani and all, the 6th chapter, some beautiful verses are there. You can go and see. Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam, Sarva Bhutani Cha Atmani. Like that. Ikshate Yoga Yukta Atma, Sarvatra Samadarshana. Like that, there is one verse. It is also, similar verses there in the Ishavasya Upanishad also. So, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam means what? All the beings are in my Atma. So my Atma is the Sarva Bhutastaha means what? It is there in all the beings. So all the beings are there in me, and I am there in all the beings. Both ways you say that. To make it complete, basically there is no doubt. I am the Atma in all the beings. Then are they separate or something? No. All of them are in you. All their body, mind, sense complexes are all you, also only you. That's why Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam also is said, Sarva Bhutani Cha Atmani. All the beings are in your Atma alone. Like even all the entire dream world is in you. All the beings in the dream world are also in you. So that is the drishti. Now that same drishti is being talked about here. Let us see. Samasteshu vastushu anusyutamekam.
Samasteshu vastushu anusyutamekam.
Samastani vastuni yennas prishanti.
Samastani vastuni yennas prishanti.
Viyadvat sada shuddhamachhaswarupam.
Viyadvat sada shuddhamachhaswarupam.
Sanityo malabdhiswarupo hamatma. So, samasteshu vastushu anusyutam. So, anusyutaha means one who is in and through all the beings. Okay? That is the meaning. Anusyutam means it is like the Sutre Manigana even also it is said in the Gita. Like all the, in a mala, why it is said it is not obvious. See, you only see the money, correct, or whatever is the jewel. But within the jewel, what is the thing which is keeping all these jewels together? Which goes in and through them. That is the thread, correct? That is the sutra. That's why even there is a name called Sutratma, correct? Even in the Upanishad we saw, the name Sutratma is there. Why that Sutratma used is for two reasons. The word Sutratma is an interesting word. First is it conveys that everything is held together by the Sutratma, correct? By the, whoever is the Samashti, this entire Srishti, whatever we see here, maybe it may look it's all different things, but everything is held together by one Sutratma. But the other thing is that Sutratma is subtle, so it is not visible. Like even the Sutra itself is hidden, correct? Inside it is there. It's not very obvious to you. For those reasons we use the term Sutratma. Here also it is Anisyutam. It is the one in and through all these things. But if you look at the Nama Rupa, you will miss it. You don't understand the Swarupa then. So you have to look at the Swarupa. If you see the Swarupa, so all the Vastus, within these Vastus, it is going in and through, but also what? Samastani Vastuni, but because it is now connected to all the Vastus, then does it become tainted by their problems and all that? Samsaritvam means no. Again it is reiterated. What? Samastani Vastuni yennas prishanti, but not touched by all the objects, all the Vastus, all the beings. It cannot be touched. Because 2-3 reasons we can give, correct? One is it is not of the same order of the reality. So there may be gold is there in all the jewelry, but none of the jewelry can affect the gold in any way. Right? Gold remains the gold. You can maybe change it from one name and form to another name and form. You can take the chain, melt it, then make it into gold bar. Again you can take the gold bar, melt it and make it into some bangle. Whatever you may do, gold remains gold. You cannot do anything. It is not tainted in any manner. Of course, gold at least can be tainted by adding some copper and all that. Really speaking, all ornamental gold is mixed with some copper. Pure gold jewelry also is there, but it is not very malleable and strong and all that. But Atma is not even like that. So it can never be touched by anything. So that is, in fact, another reason is that it cannot be objectified. That is another important thing. It is aprameya. Atma is aprameya. And then in the Gita, Bhagavan says it in so many words, correct? Achetyoyam, adakyoyam. It cannot be cut. It cannot be burnt. Adakyo, akletyo soshya yevacha. Vidya sarvagataha sthanuhu, like that. So it cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be drowned in water, it cannot be dried by wind. Like this he keeps on saying. So nainam chindanti shastrani, explicitly also. Sword, shastra means whatever which you use, keep in your hand and use. There are two types of weapons, correct, in Sanskrit. One is called shastra, another is called astra. Astra means something which you throw or which leaves you, like a javelin or a arrow and all that. That is all astra or missile. Nowadays, that's why all missiles are all astra. Shastra means you keep it in your hand and you fight. Your sword or mace and things like that. Anyway, so the sword cannot cut you. Nainam chindanti shastrani. Why? Because Atma is not an object for cutting. Only objects can be cut. Nainam dahati pavaka. It cannot be burnt by fire also. Why? Again, fire only can burn objects. Atma is not an object. Nachainam kledayan tyapaha. Water cannot touch it or wet it or drown it. Because again it is not an object. Nashoshayati marukaha. Wind also cannot dry it. Then again he says achetyoyam adakyoyam. He repeats the same thing again and again. In fact, here also a lot of repetition is there. But one thing we say in Vedanta is that repetition is not a dosha. Because the subject matter is like that. Only if I repeat the same thing again and again, even if you don't get it the first time, we hope that the second time something you get. So we do repeat, or we use same idea, we will say with one analogy first, then with another analogy and all that. That's all. But everywhere it is only repetition. Anyway, here samastani vastuni yennas prishanti means it does not even touch, nothing can really touch this Atma. Why? Because it is aprameya, it is not an object, it can never be objectified by any organ. And also it is partless also. See, only that which has a part can be connected or related to something. Atma is partless whole. Since it is partless, it cannot be connected with anything. There is no connection. So it cannot be touched. Like even, okay, what is the partless whole example which we give in Vyavahara is space. Space is partless, indivisible, but it cannot be tainted also. You cannot have space pollution. You can only have air pollution. Space pollution is not possible. Simply it gives avakasha to everything. Right? It accommodates everything. And it is pure like space. Vyadvat sada shuddham. Sada shuddham is important. It can never be tainted. It's not like it was impure and then you purified it and it has become pure. Like your everyday you have this panchapatra. It's a plain, correct? First day you put all this tamarind and all that and you clean and it is all bright. Then after 2 days it is again, all the brightness is gone. Then again you have to clean. You have to keep cleaning it every couple of days, then it will look bright and nice. Is Atma like that? No. Atma is sada Shuddham means it can never become tainted. It is always shining in the same manner. Viyadvat Sada Shuddham Achaswarupam. Acha again means again pure or transparent and lucid and all that. That is called Acha. So Achaswarupam means it is like that. It is elucid and all we say. There is a word in English you can go and look up. It is like that. Atma is always so that Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. There is only one more verse. I think we can even finish this text today so that you all can be free. Okay. So, what is the last verse here? In fact, in the last verse, Acharya is even invoking Vishnu here. Hey Vishnu, he says Vishnu. Of course, Vishnu can be taken as Narayana Vishnu also. Or you can take it as Atma Swarupa only, which is all pervasive. Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. So in Sanskritam, we have a Vyutpatti Artha for everything. Means etymologically you can derive the meaning, correct, of all the words. But there is also Rudi Artha we say. Rudi Artha means by association, naturally it has one meaning. See, even like Xerox is there. Xerox means copier for all of us, really speaking. That is Rudi. But really Xerox has some other meaning, correct? It is the name of a company actually. On what basis they kept it, we don't know. It is only a brand name. But the brand name has become associated with the copier. If I go and say, where is the copier shop? If I ask somebody, nobody will know here, correct? In Rishikesh. If I go and ask, where is the Xerox ka dukan, means they will tell immediately, this is the place. So it has become like that. By association, it has gained a certain meaning. But by derivation, it may have some meaning also. So Vishnu means, normally we think that Vishnu is Narayana, Vaikuntha Vasaha and all that. But it need not always mean like that, correct? It is Vyapnoti iti Vishnu, the one who pervades everything. So even for Ganapati we say, correct? Shuklam Paradharam Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam. So Ganapati there is addressed as Vishnu means how will we then give the meaning? You have to give it as only Vyapnoti iti Vishnu, like that. Anyway, so here there are two meanings are there. And we have to understand which one contextually. In some context you can even take both. Here you can do Vishnu can be taken as Vishnu also. He is addressing now finally Bhagavan. Okay, how is he addressing? Upadhau yatha bhedata sanmaninam
Upadhau yatha bhedata sanmaninam
Tatha bhedata buddhi bhedeshu tepi
Tatha bhedata buddhi bhedeshu tepi
Yatha chandrikanam jale chanchalatvam
Yatha chandrikanam jale chanchalatvam
Tatha chanchalatvam tavapiha Vishnu
Tatha chanchalatvam tavapiha Vishnu.
It is the same thing. If you say this Atma is always pure and it is always already it is Mukta and all that, why everybody is suffering and all that? Same thing. People keep asking, but even those who have listened to Vedanta for 15 years also, they will come back and ask the same question. That one Paramartha Ji was telling me. He has been conducting class for now 45 years or something. Correct? He started I think in 1978 in Chennai. And now it is more than 45 years. It's almost 47 years. He has been, or 46 years he has been conducting class. Now he told me around 20 years back. And he told me, I have been conducting class for 25 years, but still people ask me the same questions. It's not, it doesn't easily, or the same questions keep cropping up. Even though you think that you have understood something, still you think that you need some explanation and all that. So the only explanation we give is what? Everything is at the upadhi only. Atma is neither it is changing nor it has any issue, it has no problems. It is as it is always. So upado yata vedata san manina. Okay, there are many manis are there, different jewels are reflecting sunlight differently, correct? But that doesn't mean that it is affecting the sun in any manner. So they are all conditioning factors, you can see. They all condition the light and they reflect differently also. So Maninam Vedata san tata Vedata buddhi Vedeshu tepi. So you are also like that only. Like even the sunlight is reflecting differently in different manis, different jewels, different stones and all that, precious stones. Like that you are also, you are the one who is shining everywhere in the different intellects, buddhi Vedeshu. In different intellects you are shining. And also what? Yatha Chandrikanam Jale Chanchalatvam. Like even the moon. Okay. Till now he was using sun. Now he is, for a difference he is using moon. Moon also is reflecting in different water bodies. And it may even in somewhere there is a wave. It looks like the moon itself is whatever it is changing. Correct? It is vibrating or something. But really there is no vibration or anything. So like that, tatha chanchalatvam tavapi hai. So even for you also, people may think that you are acting really, you are doing something and all that. But all that is only upadhi kritaha. It is only due to the upadhi. It is all maya. Maya upadhi alone. You are chanchala, or you, whatever activities people are attributing to you, even that is similar to how this moon is moving as a reflection in different water bodies. Right? Bhagavan says that in so many words, correct? I have already quoted that. Ajopi san avyayatma, he says. I am unborn, unchanging. So, ajaha, avyaya. Being unborn and being unchanging only. Ajopi san avyayatma. Bhutanam ishvaropi san. Being the Lord of all the beings. Prakritim swam adhishtaya. Keeping this prakriti under my control. This Maya under my control only. Sambhavami. But still I am born. Yuge. I am born again and again. Paritranaya sadhunamana. What is the reason? Okay, I want to establish dharma samsthapanaya. Like this, Bhagavan talks about this. So there it looks very contradictory, correct? Literally, if you take, how can somebody be unborn and unchanging, but you are also Ishvara? You are keeping everything in your control and you are born also, again and again. What is this? Unless we bring in the Upadhi idea here, you can never make sense of all these things, correct? Or even immediately he says later on, Chaturvarne Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagashaha Tasya Kartaram Apimam Vidhi Akartaram Avyayam, he says. Even though I have created this Chaturvarna, etc., I have created everything, the entire Srishti I have created. But know me as the one who has not done anything at all. Okay? With Mam Vidhi Akartaram Avyayam, he says. So know me as the one who has not done anything, who has not changed in any manner also. That means I have not really done anything. So again, in the presence alone, everything is happening. So from one standpoint, we can say like the same thing. The sun is the very beautiful analogy here. You can say the lotus is blooming because of the sun. Sun has made the lotus to bloom. Fine. From one standpoint, it looks good. But if you go to the sun and actually ask, did you really make the lotus bloom? Means sun will say, no, I don't have any kartritva. I haven't done anything. I am just shining as I am always. So I don't have any kartritva. But from the standpoint of whatever is happening, you can say that because of the sun alone, this happened. But from the sun's own standpoint, sun has not really done anything. It is as it is always. So this is the important thing. Of course, these 12 verses have actually clarified a lot about the Atma Swarupa to us, correct? And mainly using the Bimba and Pratibimba as the analogy here. And this was supposed to have been said by Hastaamalakeeyam, who was a Shishu, correct? Who was a baby. And that is the Hastaamalakeeyam, that is the great Acharya. And this is the only work which is actually attributed to Hastaamalakeeyam. So he is supposed to have not written much. Okay. He was he was with the Acharya, he went everywhere. That's why he is there in all the photos also. We have Hastaamalakeeyam also is sitting with Shankaracharya. But this is the only work, and there is a Bhashya, as I told you. which again is very good. In fact, I haven't said everything from the Bhashya to you. There are some big arguments also in between in the Bhashya, but the connection also the Bhashya gives very nicely from one verse to the another. Most of the connections I have told you. Some of the arguments are not very relevant. We can study it separately. So anyway, so we have completed this text, and we'll continue with the other text anyway we have. Okay, we'll have the class in the evening. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.